everybody, thanks for stopping by. Welcome back. I'm going to talk to you about Kiehl's Musk. So I did talk about this perfume in the past. I think it was just one video that I mentioned it on Musk's, and I do plan to make another video on Musk's, but I was inspired to talk to you about this again because I received a phone call from the sales associate at the Kiehl's counter that's near me. It's about 2 hours away, but she called me and she told me that she had received a shipment of the original Musk oils, which looks like this. And when I heard that, I just had to get over there as soon as I can. It took me a couple days, but I made my way there and I snatched up a bottle of oil. And I'm confused. I'm still confused when it comes to what is the story with their oil, because it has a lot of diehard fans who just, that's like the only thing that they want to wear is the Musk, and especially the oil. However, the website seems to be sold out a lot when it comes to this oil. And then I hear people say that it's discontinued. What I think, based off of my recent experience, is that I think that the company will make it in small batches and then release it to their shops every so often. The sales rep told me maybe once or twice a year they will get these oils. So thank God I was able to get one. This is what it looks like. It is in a, I think that this is the packaging it's always come in. By the way, Kiehl's Musk apparently came out in 2004. That's what Fragrantica says. I find that really hard to believe. I swear that this was like around long before that, but maybe I'm wrong. It kind of smells like it has been around the block for a while. With this oil, it comes in this glass bottle, but as you can see, it's just like a jar lid. And you have to pour it out every time you want to use it, which is really tedious for me. I don't want to do that, and it would not motivate me to want to wear it. So what I did was I have these rollerball bottles around, and I just filled it up with a little bit of the oil there. Makes it way more easy for me to use. It's not very sticky at all, and it goes on pretty smooth. So in case you've never smelled Kiehl's Musk, the note breakdown, according to Fragrantica, is orange blossom and bergamot in the top. Then you have ylang ylang, neroli, lily, and rose in the middle. And then in the base, you have musk, tonka bean, and patchouli. What I get from this perfume, and by the way, the oil and the spray smell exactly the same. What I get with this perfume is a very oily, rich, and furry, kind of animalistic musk. The note breakdown does not give you what you experience. Maybe if I click on show votes, when I click on show votes for Fragrantica, the top most vote is musk and the second top most voted is ylang ylang. And I'm on board with that. I completely agree. I kind of feel like the musk that they chose for this perfume, I'm sure you all know the icon that I'm referring to. It looks just like, looks kind of like a microscopic view of a blanket. I feel like it should be some sort of civet, like civetone, or something that's replicating the natural, or castoreum. I just feel like this musk image is not quite doing it justice, because this to me is very like a naturalistic, animalic kind of musk. That's why it does feel kind of fatty and like it was extracted from the animal fat of whatever creature they got it from. Of course, I'm like 99% sure that this is synthetic musk. Actually, I want to say I'm 100% sure that this is just synthetic musk and it's cruelty-free. I don't get any of the other notes though, other than the ylang-ylang and the musk, if that gives you an idea of how this smells. I would like to say that people who are not used to perfumes, if they smell this on you, I think that they might be shocked because it's so different from what you would smell in your typical perfume, what the average person who isn't really into fragrance, what they experience. It's nothing like this. So they might be kind of shocked, they might be a little bit disgusted, and I can understand where they're coming from if they feel that way. They might also think it's really interesting because it definitely does have a complex kind of feeling about it, even though it is basically like a musk soliflor. It is a bit complex in how it feels. It actually kind of feels like a more rugged and animalic take on Chanel No. 5, the Eau de Toilette though. I know people have made comparisons to No. 5 with this. I've seen it at different points, but the Eau de Toilette for No. 5 is, I feel like it's pretty animalic. It's a very oily, rich, ylang-ylang. And the Eau de Parfum and the Parfum smell very different from it, I feel. So that's a little comparison for you. I know though that I've bumped into a few people when I've been wearing this who have been completely like hypnotized by it and think that it smells amazing. So I do see that it could be a very complimented perfume for you by certain people that you might know. I think it is amazing for layering. It's kind of like a secret weapon. I mean, you can wear it on its own and it smells great on its own, but I find it's so useful if I'm trying to wear something like like Paco Rabanne Pour Homme, a very soapy fougere barbershop kind of scent, especially that kind. I'll grab the bottle here, this perfume here. It can come across a bit like, what's the word? Antiseptic, because of how soapy it is. Especially these newer bottles that don't have any of the deeper animalics compared to the old versions. I feel like adding some of the musk, the Kiehl's musk, gives it a lot more depth and gives it some warmth and humanity, where otherwise it might feel like the perfume is wearing you. It makes me feel more in control and that I'm wearing the perfume and I'm enhancing the perfume and it's melding with me. So that's a tip for you. Concerning the oil, the way it wears, I find it to be moderate at best. I get a good 3, 4, maybe 5 hours out of it. And definitely by hour 5, it is very light wearing on my skin. It's very light wearing on the skin, and I have to put my nose up to my arm. The first hour, it definitely has that richness to it, and it maintains its original character. By the end of its wear, it does develop a bit soapier, and it smells like clean skin. So the skankiness of the smell, I find to kind of die out near the end. I don't find this to be the case with the spray version. It's another moderately wearing perfume for me. I get probably 5 to 6 hours out of this, and I usually spray it on my clothes. And I don't feel like it's very projecting by that 6 hour. It has died down a lot. But maybe I'm wrong. That's how I'm experiencing it. I can sort of get a sense that it's not loudly coming off of me. But maybe I'm wrong. I'll have to ask some people in the future when I'm wearing it if they can smell it on me. But with Musk's, like I was saying before, this is something that I would be very cautious of wearing in certain situations. Like I would not, I don't know if I'd wear it for a job interview, for example. It might come across a bit unwashed and a bit aggressive. I don't know if I'd wear it to maybe the gym. It might just come across as too sweaty if you're in the gym, but maybe that would work to your advantage. It would make you smell like your like pheromones were just coming out of you in the heat and in the sweat. What else is there to say? Oh, I thought maybe I would just check a few reviews on Fragrantica for this perfume and just tell you what I think. So the most recent review says it smells extremely fecal. I don't pick up any of the notes listed here at all. It just has a very distinct one-to-one replication of severe diarrhea. That's a very intense reaction, but I can understand where they're coming from. I don't feel like it smells like poop, but this is what I was getting at earlier. People might have that shocked reaction to it because of how animalic it can be. And it's just more animalic than the average person is used to. And they might interpret that to be fecal or like poop. And I've heard that before about this perfume. So it's not just this one person. Someone says, I love it, but in higher amount makes me very sick and I have to take off my shirt after I spray it, maybe 5 times. It's super strong, so it's a no for me. And then the next person, they say, soapy and clean, very classic fragrance. So this is somebody who's experiencing it completely differently from the most recent reviewer. I can see why some people say it smells animalic, though. It's the type of soap my grandma used to make from pig's fat at her village. So I can understand what he's talking about. I guess he's referring to like a lye soap. And I am very familiar with lye soap, and I can understand that fatty comparison he's describing, and that's the one that I actually told you earlier too. I don't know if this smells like lye soap exactly. That's more mild, but I can see what he's talking about. And then somebody says that they've had a bottle for 20 years and that it's getting better with time. I've had this bottle here for maybe a year and a half, and it smells the same to me. So maybe I need to wait 20 years for it to get better than it was the first time. And then the last review I'm going to read, it just says, this smells so sexy to me. I don't know if it smells this on a man. I'd go feral. So there you have it. It's a pretty polarizing fragrance that people have very different opinions on, which makes it pretty interesting. That's all I have to say for now on Kiehl's Musk. If you have any questions for me or any ideas or thoughts, please let me know. Thank you so much for watching and have a great rest of your day. Goodbye.